Hello, my lovely peeps. I hope this finds you very, very well. I want to share how I host without stress, without stressing, without anxiety, feeling and being fully prepared for guests, whether expected or unexpected. These are not difficult recipes. These are not difficult things to do. And I'm just gonna break it down because I feel like I've got 60 years under my belt. I have made every mistake that one can make in making these recipes, as well as not being prepared for guests and feeling like I've run out of food or just not having it all together. So I'm gonna share my best tips for you to host without stressing. So these are my best tips. Number one, this is the golden rule. The golden rule. Make ahead and freeze. Now, I'm going to give a caveat. You can make ahead and refrigerate, but the two key words, these words are the holy grail of stress-free entertaining. Make ahead. Now, let me tell you why this is so important. You have got two things that you do not want to happen on the day of your party, your company arriving, your friends or family coming into town or over to dinner. You don't want to be making a recipe from start to finish on that day, and you don't want to be making your house smell like you've been cooking. Some things smell great, but it's mostly baked goods or desserts. You want your house to be clean and smell fresh and clean, and you want your food to be prepared days or weeks or even months before your guests. What I do as far as make ahead is I make ahead and I freeze. So making ahead will do several things. It will let you use the time that you have when you're not that busy to do your cooking and to mess up your kitchen. I have had a day where I've had several deliveries that I was expecting, so I knew I had to be around the house. And last night, because I did some of this last night, I knew I needed to be home because Zane was here and I hadn't seen him in a while. He wanted to watch the NBA finals, and so I thought this is a good time for me to do some cooking. When you're not stressed and you're your own boss, nobody's coming over at the moment, do your heavy lifting. Get the cooking out of the way. And when you get the cooking out of the way, you're getting the kitchen mess out of the way. You're getting all of the dishes washed and put away the next day. And you're getting all of these yummy, yummy things in your freezer, labeled and done. And then whenever your company is coming, you say, oh, I've got it made. It's so wonderful, guys. It's a game changer. There have been many times in my past that I thought I would make a baked ziti the morning that company was coming that night, and just think about it. I just had to learn it the hard way. You've got to boil pasta. You have to boil pasta for this one. So you're getting hot, you're boiling pasta. Then you've got to cook meat, either chicken or ground beef, unless you prepped that ahead, which is always an option. I make these in stages. By the time it's all done, first of all, you may run out of an ingredient. Making things ahead, you cover all your bases. If you're out of something, you've got time to stop, order grocery delivery, or run to the store, and you're good. You're not thinking about, oh, they're about to be here, they're gonna be here in 2 hours. So make ahead. Now I'm going to share my two top recipes. These are two of the most viral, requested, downloaded, and commented upon on all of my channels recipes on Family Savvy. These are rave-worthy. Everyone loves these. Never have I heard anyone make a negative comment or say they didn't like these. Kids would like these. These are comfort food. And then I'm going to share one of myriad bundt cakes that I have on the blog. All of those will be linked. And I'm going to tell you why. If you have one or all of this in your freezer, somebody could say, hey, we're coming over, and it's a family of even 8. Or you've got your supper club and there's 12 couples, because this is supper club food as well. You say, no problem. I've got it covered if this is in your freezer. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the recipes. Chicken Tetrazzini. This is a winner chicken dinner. I'm going to also link to any of the how-to for these. I know I've got a separate video on making this from start to finish, and I'll just link to anything where it helps you make these easier. This I made today, and it took me about an hour and a half because I poached the chicken, boiled the pasta, mixed it all up, did everything in about an hour and a half today. So that's an hour and a half and it's done. I did this last night while Zane was watching the finals. This took about the same, hour and a half, 2 hours. Had to brown the ground beef and the Italian sausage, boil the pasta, put it all together. And the extra time is you want everything to cool before you freeze it. You want it to get to room temp. You don't want it to be hot when you put it in the freezer because you're also going to package it. Total time, if you add wrapping it and sealing it and labeling it for the freezer, I would say at least allow 2 hours, maybe 2.5. Just allow for interruptions. Now I want to tell you this, I would say makes one huge portion. The baked ziti recipe makes 2 big portions. Exact same thing, one recipe makes both of these. You have a chicken dish and you have a ground beef, and I do Italian sausage as well. You can just use ground beef. And you have pasta in both. The reason these are so perfect, in addition to the fact that they are make ahead, is that they are very filling. All you need to put with this to make it a hearty meal is a crusty artisan bread, and with this I do salad and Mississippi green beans. With this I just do a great big salad and crusty bread. When you have a crowd, you want something filling like pasta. This also has lots of cheese, so it's filling and it's rich. You're probably not going to run out of food. People may go back, will definitely go back for seconds, but just plan on this serving 8 to 10, and this, because you're getting 2, this will serve, I would say, 20 to 24. If you make sure you've got sides and an appetizer, because you've got lots of pasta, lots of cheese. Let me tell you, both of these, the way I make these ahead and freeze them to have zero stress is I make them up until the point of where it's time to bake, and I stop. And at that point, you have 2 choices with both of these. They're fully assembled, the pasta's cooked, the meat is cooked, and you've got all your cheese. You can put these, either or both, in the refrigerator. You want to wrap them for up to 2 days, and then pull it out and bake it. Baking is just going to heat it through, melt everything, melt the cheese. There's really nothing raw. If you're not going to put it in the fridge and bake it in 2 days, then you want to freeze it. I make this ahead and I freeze. You want to get it cool and keep it in the fridge, or go ahead and wrap it once it's cool for the freezer. So I'm going to show you how I wrap this. Okay, I already had this wrapped. So I'm going to put this, I put a layer of cling wrap directly on top of the casserole, and I just gently press it down, and that just keeps air from hitting the surface when it's frozen. Super easy. And then heavy duty aluminum foil. I want to show you because it matters. You don't want to get regular foil that's not heavy duty. You want to always have 1 roll at least. I keep 2 because I use this so much. Heavy duty. I don't care if it's Reynolds. Just make sure it's heavy duty, and make sure it's the long one. The long one. You don't want those short ones because you're using these aluminum pans. Another tip for hosting without stressing is these aluminum pans. If you are doing a casual gathering, like our small group, we've been doing small group with our young couples. We've been doing it, we're in our 8th year with our friends and neighbors who we do this with. We're not putting it in fancy. You can put this in fancy dishes and then wash and do all that, but we're all about the food and the fellowship. So we use these, and then when everybody has done and there's usually never anything left, we toss it. We have everything, the casseroles wrapped. I'll show you how I finish it. Okay, my friends, I think I'm gonna have to go to the grocery because I keep 2-gallon Ziploc bags, and I keep even sometimes bigger than 2-gallon. Yeah, these are not gonna work. You can freeze just like this, and it will be fine if you're gonna just do a few weeks. which actually that's what I'm going to do. If you seal it really well, it will be fine. But if you're gonna keep it 4 to 6 weeks, I like to do a super duper big Ziploc to just add an extra layer of protection. Now, I want to show you what you always want to do. You always want to label because you think you'll remember what's what and when you made it and when you put it in there in the freezer. Trust me, we don't always do that. So this is Tetrazzini, and today, June 9th, and I'm going to do that. Tetrazzini 6/9/26. I don't know why I got these huge. I need to actually order some more, but you want to make sure you label it. And this is Ziti 6/9/26. Voila, this is the other Ziti. We're going to label it. And see, if I go to the grocery now, I know that I need the big, I'm making my grocery list of anything I forgot. Okay, now this. When you freeze one of my bundt cakes, here's how you do it. This is going directly into the freezer. I'm actually gonna take it off the plate. I'm just gonna stick it in the freezer in here in the kitchen. Probably I'll get it out the next morning. This is good to stick it overnight, so about 8 hours. You want it to get like really hard, then you can slip it into one of the 2-gallon bags and it will not tear. If I put this warm, well, it's really room temp now, cake into one of the bags, it might break it, tear it. So you flash freeze, then take it out after about 8 hours, stick it into a freezer Ziploc, label it in the freezer. Friends, that is how I host without stressing. I keep rave-worthy comfort food recipes in my freezer, and I'm always ready if someone comes to visit. Okay, I hope that this has been helpful to you all. Oh, let me give you a tip. Take these out because they'll freeze really solid. Take these out a couple of days before you know you're going to be entertaining, and they'll thaw beautifully. Make sure you remove the cling wrap or the layer that you pressed onto it, and then lightly cover with foil for the majority of the baking. Uncover the last 10-15 minutes to let it get bubbly and golden, and you're good. The recipe for all of my bundt cakes, that does have a glaze that's optional, but for your cakes, I freeze them unglazed and I glaze them once I pull them out while they're still a little bit frozen, because the glaze sits beautifully on top of the cake and does not absorb like it would if I did it now. I hope these tips are helpful. If you enjoy my content and find it helpful, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. I love sharing all the things with you all, and until next time, be blessed and stay savvy.